on air every evening, the whole world must listen. As long as we preach this very gospel, Chukwokika Abiyama must be with us. Therefore, without any further hesitation, we must proceed to offer every prayer to Chukwu Okike Abiyama who resided in heaven. Therefore, as we always commence, not from today, but from of old, our Father who art in heaven, that your name may be hallowed by men, that we may bow at the mention of it, that we may offer every glory unto thee, that we may offer you every adoration and adulation, because there is none like thee. You fight our battles for us. Every blessed day you demonstrate through your kindness and your everlasting mercy that you are our Lord, our God, and our Creator. This evening we offer these your children unto thee. All over this very planet that you created, they are listening across the entire 24 time zones on this very planet where they inhabit. They are listening to your gospel this very evening, this gospel of redemption, a gospel of hope, a gospel of restoration, a gospel of renewal, this very gospel of freedom, this very gospel of emancipation as only you ordained, that this very gospel must be preached, that mankind may be set free from the eternal damnation of the creation of the British. My goodness me, I want to remain in the spirit because we must worship heaven. We answer your name, O Lord of hosts. Everything about us is designed to offer glory unto thee. We have atoned for our sins last year. This very year we have not only atoned for our sins, we have spilled, we have shed blood, they have shed our blood. We have let our sacrifice be made unto thee. Even on the 30th of August, as we are being felled by the bullets of the enemy, by the workers of iniquity and of darkness, we remain very strong today to beckon upon thee, to ask you for your mercy and for your grace, to ensure that your kingdom is restored upon the face of the earth, that you can bring your healing hand to bear upon the life of those of them that you created for one singular purpose, and that purpose alone, which is to worship you in truth and in every honesty. Is there any way that we have erred? Is there any way that our ancestors may have sinned? We confess before a congregation of the whole of humanity to ask you, O Lord of hosts, to have mercy upon us. You must have mercy upon us. We have suffered enough. We have been subjugated enough. We have been tortured enough. We have been imprisoned enough. We did not do these people anything. Our only crime is to answer your name. Our only crime is to be born your children. Our only crime is to excel at everything that we place our hands into. Our only crime is to exhibit your glory and your blessing, which manifestedly is upon our lives every blessed day. That is why they want to kill us. That is why the British want to join those of them who don't know you to destroy your creation and your inheritance. You will not allow shame to befall your name. You will not allow the enemies to triumph over the lives of your children, because you created us to exist, to worship, to honor, and to praise you. That is exactly what we are going to do when this Biafra comes. It will come in truth and in every honesty, because we remain every blessed day Chukwu Abiyama binigwe whiter than white and whiter than snow. Is there any way that we have sinned that you cannot forgive us our trespasses, to enable us to fulfill your own word which was spoken thousands of years ago, that instead of what you promised not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist? You opened your mouth, Chukwokika Abiyama, to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. those words can never be in vain, because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them and they are Biafrans, they will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace under our command. O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is destitution. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children. The Efiks and the Bibios, the Izon, the Shekiri, the Isobos, and also those of them from Isoko. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Igala. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to Igede, to the territories of the Igbo land. All these places we dedicate unto thee. All these lands of yours, we ask you to cover it with your mercy, because Biafra will come, and when it does, we will dance on the streets. I'm telling you, by the time that we are done, humanity will think that we are mad, we are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so, because your kingdom will come to rest upon this very earth. That very kingdom is the unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, that your will may be fulfilled in our time. All this we pray, all these we ask for, in no other name apart from that name that belongs to you. Ahadin sosine bigebi rone bigebi. He said, my name is Nnamdi Kanu.
Anybody standing in trial or coming to try me is a terrorist. That's what their law says. As simple as that. What me? As simple as that. Section 2, subsection 3F of Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. That's what it says. Any court considered to try me is committed an act of terrorism. Yes. Very clear. You cannot violate a list that Nigeria entered into and then come to try that very person. Is not done anywhere in the world. So you must be aware of that. So that is why there is all these ridiculous delays. That is what Supreme Court said. I did not jump bail. My home was invaded. They came to kill me and I survived. They came to Kenya to kidnap me, brought back to this country and seeking to try me, which the law says cannot happen. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then hope to stand on that illegality to conduct a trial. Is not done anywhere in the world. And we have them in my case.
This leveled against me. This place where I committed this crime was London in the United Kingdom. When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself.
They removed it.
I told them that no court in Nigeria has jurisdiction to try me.
They removed that London.
Because
I'm not aware if the voice is coming out clear.
Since this offense was committed in England, so they said, it's only a UK court that can give a Nigerian court the authority to proceed, isn't it?
Yeah. Based on that, they removed London.
Based on that, they now amended the charge again and removed London.
Location of the
broadcast. Contrary to section 196?
124 of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2022.
In violation of their own laws. In violation of their own laws. And you want me to stand trial as a circumstance? Is that possible? Nnamdi Kanu to stand trial where these managers are going on? It's not possible.
Yes,
we have many of that.
Mr. Kanu, last one last question. One of the senior judges at this court.
And I have respect and love for her. She knows.
What if this case comes back to her? Because
it is not possible. This persecution of Igbo people, this orchestrated, almost global persecution of the people, stops with me. It cannot happen. Very well. It can never happen. That is why we do what we do. That is why I do what I do. I am campaigning for the freedom of my people because of the persecution that we are facing.
Yes.
It's as simple as that. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
The rules change.
So I was actually surprised that a high court have refused to obey or abide by the determination of a Supreme Court judgment.
And then take the only part that is against him and then refuse to apply the part that is in favor of him.
This cherry picking of what was contained in the Supreme Court judgment is what I'm against.
Yes, that's correct.
It should be implemented holistically.
Yeah.
I'm not against facing any trial.
Judgment.
After all, I'm innocent, so they have nothing against me. But there cannot be any trial when key sections of the Constitution and a key Supreme Court judgment has been violated by a court of law.
So you will petition for the case to go back and come back to the court?
This is my 4th year in solitary confinement in detention. The 5th year will not kill me.
Sorry, what if the case is also reassigned back to her? Will you still go to
It's not going on.
No, it won't happen.
It won't happen. It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen that way. It doesn't happen that way at all.
Thank you very much.
These are the things that the public must understand. Most of you journalists, the legal correspondents, you don't take time to actually study some of these rulings and judgments. Go and study. In fact, I'll give you...
Bring the envelope. Bring the envelope.
Look at it here. Look at it here. Look at it.
I'll give it to her because I think she's a bit more...
Give her the sugar judgment.
Can you hold this for me?
She can...
Please let me know if my voice is coming out clear.
I want to let the whole world understand something. Very, very clear. In all this judgment of the Supreme Court, it made it very clear that even that the impartiality of the judge is questionable. And it's here. Where is the please do bear with me. It says it here.
I like it.
What is that again? Where it says all these things are online. Is this not page 18? All these things are online. So I suggest that the journalists in this country actually take out time to do some basic research. It's not difficult, just minor research. You will understand
the vacuousness, the emptiness of all the charges against me. Okay. They kept switching the charges. They said I committed this crime in England, isn't it? I made a broadcast in England.
Yes.
And in 9 charges leveled against me, this place where I committed this crime was London, in the United Kingdom. Yes. When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. I told them that no court in Nigeria has jurisdiction to try me. Because since this offense was committed in England, so they said, it's only a UK court that can give a Nigerian court the authority to proceed, isn't it?
Yeah,
Based on that, they now amended the charge again. I removed London.
Location of the
broadcast. Contrary to section 196? 174 of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2022. In violation of their own laws. And you want me to stand trial under such circumstances? Is that possible? Nnamdi Kanu to stand trial where these shenanigans are going on? It's not possible.
Because the entire story. Surrounding was money is not everything. Let's fight for our freedom. For our freedom is our pride. Papa Mubaram see Nadia Frabalamu Iabuna Neminu Kambu Parayano Makanoji Femata Winyakaye Akalobe Ilo Nesia Oye Wufemu Paranifea Nkabu Paruko Biafra is my land. Biafra, and we must go back to our land. And the Kwanu to go to if I came here 4 years ago, gonna jump in mayor, Ogo Lodira Kahala. Mano, yes, no, government, Westy not to one Nigeria. Yabiko Solonga, Salam Gausa, Kano was a one neighbor. Makanobu Gausa, as a good governor he is. Lokajita Pandia was of woman.
Please pardon us because our network is not that good this morning, or should I say this afternoon. We are trying to do this smoothly as much as we can. So kindly bear with us. Let me know if my voice is coming out in the comment section, please, before we continue. Let me know if my voice is loud and clear, please. Very, very, very important. I am receiving some important information on my news desk. Very, very important information based on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case at the Federal High Court in Abuja. Okay. Yeah, friends, we are winning. 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 We are winning this game. I think they think it's a game. We are winning the game. I want to show you something now because maybe these videos will come later. Maybe these videos will come later. Because the videos are already in the video that I'm playing is already on the social media. So the video will come later. Maybe when I have my time for, in-depth analysis, I will use the videos. Especially now that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has not spoken to the either to the public or to the journalist, to the press. So this video, at least we have seen our leader smiling in the court. So the videos have done their own part. But there is a big but. Biafrans, there is a big but. Big but. Very heavy big but. We are winning. Biafrans and lovers of freedom, we are winning. I'm going to show you a certain headline now. We are winning. Honestly speaking, we are winning. I want you to sing it like a song. We are winning. We are winning. We are winning. Yes, we are winning. Oh, yes, we are winning. The zoo is panicking and they are in shambles. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told them that he's going to defeat them in their own court of law, in their own court of competent jurisdiction. I will defeat the zoo. That is the statement of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu very many years ago. Very many years ago. That's why I began with the videos that I have played already. There are two clips of videos. The first one, he said that any court that is trying to try him is committing an act of terrorism. That is number one. So, but no, I can't see this alone. I can't continue, laughing at the zoo alone. I think it's time for me to bring it to the screen so that all of us will laugh at the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria, and their idiocy. And their idiocy. Pay attention. Pay very good attention. Share the broadcast, my wonderful people of. Okay, sorry, let us begin. Let us start afresh. Let us start afresh. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, you are welcome to this very live presentation. Today's date is 2nd of May 2025, and the time right now is exactly 5 minutes past 2 p.m. in the land of Chukwokika, Biama. This very broadcast is reaching you all the way from the studio of Biafra Unite Channel/television, and the voice you are hearing is none other than that your own beloved brother Ordinanwa from Biafra Unite Channel/television. We are live and direct, and I want to assure every one of you listening to me right now that Chukwokika Biama Bineligwe is bearing us witness. Something great has happened. I don't want to talk too much. Let me first, because I have this joy in me. I woke up this morning and I started feeling, happy. I started feeling joy. I don't know what came over me. I began to feel happy, even though I knew that two of our great leaders, greatest of all time, notwithstanding, I haven't forgotten the great Chukwuemeka Odimegwu Ojukwu, but I didn't see the war. So I only had the history, but I didn't see the war. I read the history. I had the history. I was told and taught about the history. But in this, our modern era, the greatest leaders of all time, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa, even though I was aware that they were being incarcerated illegally against their own wish, yet I was still feeling this joy, this enthusiasm, this, is beyond happiness. Is beyond happiness. I was feeling this joy in me that there will be a victory. And guess what? Here we come. All right. Without further hesitation, at least you can see the headline on the screen. Let us read in details. I'm going to give you the breakdown from the court. The breakdown of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's court proceeding since the commencement of the hearing, of course, today, 2nd of May, 2025. The so-called accelerated hearing. Accelerated hearing. Now, the headline. This, I know why I'm reading from Channels Television, because they are there live. They are inside the court. Both their cameramen, their journalists, everybody is there. So it's good that I read from them. Now, no instrument of terrorism found on Nnamdi Kanu, DSS witness tells court. Okay. So what are we trying? What else are you trying him for? Eh? Your own witness, because God is with us. God is with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Remember, the first poor. They say his name is Poor. PWAA, Poor. The first witness on the 29th of April said that the evidences he has against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and to make the matter worse, he claimed to be among the DSS operatives that arrested Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the Golden Tulip Hotel in Lagos State when he arrived in 2015 in Nigeria. He said that they took is it 2 or 3 suitcases that contain some equipment of microphone, laptop, and small speakers. And he said that it indicated, or he thought, or he believed that those instruments are from Radio Biafra. Only for them to establish that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made a broadcast in the zoo. Remember, that's why I played those few clips in the beginning. Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said they had already said that he made a broadcast in London, in the United Kingdom. So therefore, the zoo has no jurisdiction. There is no court in the zoo that has the jurisdiction to try him. It is only a UK court will give a go-ahead order for them to try him. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be present in the UK court, which the zoo cannot afford, because they know that if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu goes back to UK, no UK court will order for his extradition to the zoo because he has not committed any crime. You can't extradite an innocent man. No. Are you getting me? So it's going to be a long journey for them, because once they take him to UK, they're not going to start with whether he made the broadcast in UK or not, which is not a crime because the radio is registered in the UK. They're going to start with, first of all, with the extradition case, which may take even 20 years. After all, Abba Kyari is still in Nigeria. He has not been extradited to America. Tinubu is still in Nigeria. Even he has now become a president of Nigeria. He has not been extradited to America. So it can take even 50 years when you are still casing to extradite somebody, especially someone who is innocent. So the zoo is aware of the cost of making such mistake, of taking Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to UK to obtain UK court authority to try him in the zoo. They removed it. They removed where the broadcast was made. They amended the charges and removed it when they had Mazi Nnamdi Kanu discussing with his lawyers of how he's going to defend himself. Right? So when the first POA, the first PWAAA, a witness said that he was among the DSS members that arrested him in Golden Tulip, and the evidences they got was only microphone. That completely made caricature of every idiocy of the zoo government against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Only that first evidence has destroyed everything in the favor against the zoo and in the favor of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Are you paying attention? Now, the second witness. So why are you masking them? Why are you? You don't have to mask them anyway. The DSS thought the zoo, well, when Fulani Goro eaters are in charge, what else do you expect? So the witness are Mago Fam Manazo, but this is just the headline. So now, according to the headline, which no instrument of terrorism found on Nnamdi Kanu, DSS witness tells court. So why are you then trying him? Since there is no any instrument of terrorism found on him, why have you kept him for the past 5 years? Plus another 2 years between 2015 and 2017. Why did you keep him? Why have you kept him? Why have you been suffering him? When remember the case is suffering, the case is answering is terrorism and treasonable felony. I think they no longer talk about treason because you cannot label me you cannot label me treasonable offense. You cannot label a treasonable offense against me when I am not planning to usurp the president. Yes, treasonable offense is when somebody tries to commit an act of treason by trying to forcefully remove the power that be, the ruling power, the president. As a matter of fact, the person who accused Mazi Nnamdi Kanu of treason is somebody who committed treason, which is Buhari. Buhari committed treason in 1983 by forcefully removing the democratically elected president, Shehu Shagari and Alex Ekwueme. These are histories, things that happened. Yes, that is treasonable offense. And to make the matter worse, he also, after usurping the democratically elected government, which is pure treason, yet he didn't rule well. At least the reason why people are standing in solidarity or standing behind Traoré of Burkina Faso is because the whole world knows he committed treason. But he is transforming the country into a better, a better state, into becoming, for the citizens to, to realize that they are really human beings. Because under the management of whoever that was there, the democratic president of France in Burkina Faso, the people were living like animals, just as the way the zoo, the people in the zoo here are living like animals. No human being is living in the zoo. There is no any human being that is living in the zoo. Even if you like B.O.B. Cubana, if you like, after all, E-Money never expected to be arrested. He was arrested the other day. Somebody who claimed to be as big as E-Money was arrested. Obi Kubana can still be arrested anytime soon. The other idiot that called himself Kubana chief priest was once arrested a few months ago. So anybody living in the zoo can never be considered as a human being. So Traore is making the citizens to believe, to see and believe and understand the benefit of living as a human being, not living as an animal. So that's why his treasonable offense can be easily forgiven by the citizens. Easily forgiven. Now, the Buhari time committed treasonable offense against Shehu Shagari's government, yet he returned the zoo into the zoo. He returned Nigeria into the zoo that is meant to be. That's why he can never be forgiven. And this same person had the guts to accuse Mazi Nnamdi Kanu after committing an act of kidnap and extraordinary rendition in Kenya to Nigeria. He had the guts to label him, you know, a terrorist and you know, treasonable, you know, felony. Now that one is gone. Nobody is talking about treason again because it is in the open that he has not committed any crime of treasonable offense. So they are talking about terrorism, and the DSS witness has shot them in the foot by saying that they did not find any instrument of terrorism. Why won't you leave him immediately? They say PW1 further disclosed that he did not find any instrument of violence. I didn't see this one. Biafrans, we are winning. We are winning. We are winning. And remember, this is a certified witness of the DS. I hope they don't assassinate him once he's leaving the court. Because I believe that this person must be no. Maybe this one is an Igbo man. This one might be a Yoruba or not Yoruba. This one might be an Hausa man. This one might be an Hausa man. I wish we can see him to save. Let's continue first. He said PW1 further disclosed that he did not find any instrument of violence. It's no longer terrorism, but violence on the lady with Kanu, and did not consider her company as facilitating terrorism. Again, and Akukwaka here. This headline alone is okay for us to be happy. And Akukwaka, and I share this broadcast. And I share this broadcast. Obukwandi mmadụ na-ege ntị here. Obukwandi mmadụ nọ here na-ege ntị. Now let's continue. I will defeat you in your own court, said Mazi Nnamdi Kanu many years ago. Now, the trial of the embattled leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB Nnamdi Kanu, resumed on Friday before Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court, Abuja, with the cross-examination of principal witness who said he did not find any instrument of terrorism on Kanu. The zoo is disappointed. Tinubu is disappointed that their own witness has shot them in the foot. So why did you call a witness? Excuse me. Why did you call a witness in the first place? The court had granted the request of the federal government for witnesses to testify behind the screens. Why the prosecution counsel is Adeboyoga Awomolo-san, a former Attorney General of the Federation, Kanu Agabi, led the defense team. An operative of the Department of State Services, known simply as AAA, appeared as PW1. When AAA was asked if he was the officer conducting the interview in the video played in court, he said that 5 officers were in the room. That is not the question. And that he was one of them. Okay, fine. Very fantastic. So that means he is speaking out of experience, out of eyewitness. He was there. Not that he thought. Not that he thought. He's speaking out of experience based on what he knows. Now, he said his role in the investigation was limited to arresting the defendant, obtaining his statement, and escorting him to Abuja for onward investigation. On the items presented in court, AAA was asked if there was any which on the face of it was offensive, and he said no. This is the cross-examination. Remember, I told you on the 29th. Now I have a question. I told the so-called witness. Now I have I also told the second witness that it is better you withdraw, because this first witness will not be able to contain the questions that will be asked to him. Now, when asked if he had analyzed any of the items recovered from him, he said he analyzed only his phone. Oh, so unu welu phone ya? Unu sees the phone ya? And now let's continue. He said the phone was in evidence, though there was no analysis in evidence because they considered it immaterial to the case. Today I'm going to behave like a kid in order to mock the idiocy of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom. Now, when asked, do you agree that in the 10 years since you confiscated these items, many of them have lost their use? AA said yes. AAA was asked whether there is a record of the items he claimed the DSS returned to the defendant. He said yes, but noted that he didn't personally keep the record. Oh, he lose go now. Today, Busorom Chia. Today, Busorom Chia. He lose go because I don't know, or I am not aware. In fact, in a simple term, ignorance of the law is not an excuse in the court of competent jurisdiction. Ignorance of law is never an excuse in the court of law. So if you say you didn't keep the record, so what else are you going to use to try him, the defendant? You have lost the case. The DSS, the zoo entirely have lost the case against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I don't think if the judge has any other thing to judge here, because the case is over. Now, PW1 further disclosed that he did not find any instrument of violence on the lady with Kanu. At least I am satisfied that Channels Television of all evil in the world is the one who made this, publication today. Few minutes ago, it just landed on my news desk. You see that there was no any evidence of violence on the lady with Kanu and did not consider her company as facilitating terrorism. So, moreover, this lady of 18 could be a hotel, attendant. Kifana ndị na-arụ ndị manya hotel, ndị na-arụ na hotel, ndị manya hotel, ndị na-arụ na hotel, ndị na-serve guest. Kifana akpọ Fabuko. Kedifana Pondina Savona guess. I want to see the comment. Hotel attend. No, I don't think he's attendant. Kifana Pondina Savona Hotel. No, Kwandina Gamunti here. Is my voice coming out? Is my voice coming out, please? What do you call hotel? I don't know if it's attendance or whatever. Kifana Pondina on a hotel. Then be a settle guest. Yeah, not the quack on DT Bollyby Bem Negamont. DT Bollyby. Hotel waiters. Waiters, I think waiters in the Narona club. Or they can DT Bollyby Bem. Naraga Hotel, Wundi Negamont. Waitress. Jina Maranya Hotel like me. Desibo mother. Chai. Desibo mother Ibem. Or they go find Egamont here. But many of you here are travelers. Of course, that one I know. I'm very sure about it because I know that people are coming. Room service. Amy Sammy said room service. I'm not sure it's waiters. Waiters are those who work in the club. That one I know. Hotel attendant. I'm not sure she's attendant because they use it for mortuary. Mortuary attendant. Okay, room service, fine. Let's use that one. I think that one is more better. Room service. Room service. So now the woman in question, I can beat my chest and say that the woman in question is a room service who works in that same hotel. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, what have I pressed? What have I clicked? Oh my God. Oh my God, just hold on, I'm going to bring it back. Somebody said reception. Now many reception bundi na receptionist. Bundi na reception. Bundi receive guests my but and when you arrive hotel, the first person you are going to meet after security is the receptionist. He's the one who is going to. Somebody said he's a hotelier, they are waitress. Anyway, I'm happy because we are winning the case. So whatever. Let me try and bring back the sorry, just a moment. Just a moment. Let me try and bring back yeah, here we come. Just a moment. I don't know what I pressed and then the news disappeared. All right. I've seen it, so we are going back to it. Share the broadcast, share the broadcast, share the broadcast. I need everyone here. I need everyone here. Share the broadcast, share the broadcast. I need everyone here. We must continue because we are winning. Now, according to the PW1, I'm trying to see where we were. PW1 further disclosed that he did not find any instrument of violence on the lady with Kanu and did not consider her company or facilitating terrorism. So Let's continue here. When Agabi asked the DSS witness whether he found any instrument of terrorism on the defendant, he said no. Replying to a question about whether he, AAA, contacted anyone who the defendant mentioned as working with him, he said the defendant didn't mention any names, adding that he did not know whether other people were standing terrorism trial with the defendant in this case. So nah, onye na-asa the drink. Hey, is the zoo is finished. I am telling you, the zoo is gone. Because after this case, after the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the zoo will never remain the same again. That is going to be the total balkanization of the damnable Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. It's good that this thing is happening and the whole world is seeing it. The zoo has become a mockery of itself in the international community. I'm telling you, it is over. I don't know which I saw a certain news yesterday that one man in Trump's cabinet, either a minister or whatever, is resigning today because of a mere allegation, a mere scandal, which is not even proven in the court of competent jurisdiction. The man is resigning today. I saw that news yesterday. This is the minds of people who are civilized. But you have somebody like Hope Uzodinjo, who have been accused of all kinds of criminality or criminal activities. He's still the governor till today. You have somebody like Fabio, the so-called Senate president, who has been accused of, sexually abusing Natasha. He's still Senate president till today. Even before that case, we saw on a camera, on a national television, where the same Fabio was telling other senators that they are going to receive a lot. This one is no longer accusation. This one is not accusation. This one happened on a national TV. I'm sure all of you remember. It was never enough for Fabio to resign as a Senate president, even as a senator, not to talk of being Senate president. To resign as a senator, it was never enough. In a developed world with developed minds, you will never ever remain a politician till today. Never again, never ever again would you remain a politician in that country, because you have committed an act of, abuse of office. Abuse of office. And you will never ever serve again as a politician. It's over for you. Are done. On a national television, when you were not aware that the microphone were still on, you were telling your senators after section that they are going to receive a lot just for them to go holiday. Just for holiday, they are going to receive a lot. And the microphone is still on. And then you sign and say, oh, no, you are going to receive email. Who are you fooling? So you have taken over 200 million buffoons, or you have taken over 200 million, monkeys for a ride. You have taken them for a ride. Over 200 million monkeys. You have taken them for a ride. Even though they cannot bite, but at least they can jump. Yet you took them for a ride. Hey, you are going to receive email after Kagwa and a microphone can on. That is the zoo. But so they will still be traveling. Tinubu will still be traveling, going to France, going to UK, going to United Nations meeting without shame. Even though people are there, people who will be there with him will see him as a useless animal. But he doesn't have a face. He doesn't have a shame. Now, he said, I put it to you that there is no other person in the whole of Nigeria who is standing terrorism trial for Biafra agitation except the defendant, Agabi told the PW1. However, Triple A said he knew some people stood trial with the defendant earlier, but didn't know the state of those trials now. And you're a DSS officer. Now, he mentioned that he had read from social media and newspapers that the defendant has had supporters like Simon Ekpa. This case is a joke. This is the biggest joke of what you see. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has made Nigeria to look like a joke that it is. Let me take this place again, because this place shouldn't have come out in the first place. This place shouldn't, because Fane Biariaka for evidence. Fanone Bialiaka for evidence, thereby making themselves look stupid in the international community. Making themselves to look stupid in the public. He mentioned that he had read from social media. Social media is now evidence. Social media is now an evidence. And newspapers that the defendants had supporters like Simon Ekpa, who also carried on with the agitation. Is agitation a crime? And here. When has agitation become a crime? Yeah? I don't know if I have any zoo sympathizer here, because if you are a Zugarian, if you agree to be a Nigerian from your heart, not from your lips, if you agree to be a Nigerian from your heart, then you are a terrorist sympathizer. You are nothing, honestly speaking, you are nothing but a terrorist sympathizer. Anybody, whether Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, Efik, wherever you come from, anybody that agrees from his heart or her heart, from deep down your heart, you agree that you are a Nigerian, you are a terrorist sympathizer. It's simple as ABCD. Yes. Look at what somebody said here. Look at somebody's statement. You read a witness who's supposed to provide evidences, physical evidences of the allegation leveled against the defendant. You are here telling us that you read on the social media that Simon Ekpa is supporting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is also carrying out the same agitation. Zoological Republic. How did we get here in the first place? Omandela talo Britain. If Britain, afufu Britain yata ya kali nkendi Sodom and Gomorrah. Afufu Britain yata ebele mebuolu mundi ezigbo mmadu no die. Afufu Britain yata ya kali Sodom and Gomorrah. Man, I hope before Bibi Britain ebido ka ọ bụ na Biafra abịago ka ụmụ Biafra ụmụ Igbo nọ na Britain nata. If Britain lesere anya jide ụmụ Chukwu ụmụ Chineke wee join ya afa with ndị ebibiri ebibi, join ya afa together. Britain ya atakita ya atasisi afụfụ n'ụwa nke fa ya karị Sodom and Gomorrah. I bibi Britain completely desolate. If we down, I desolate here completely. It will be desolated, completely desolated. I'm the one who said it. I'm telling you, fire attacks. I pray before, because all no quite very near. Before Afufa na ebido, ka obo na Biafra nago, ka umu Igbo no die nata. Laporo fo obodo fa, obodo chukwu buru ọnụ, chukwu abugo Britain ọnụ completely. Fight abu onwe fa na afu. And obo na America continue with ife fa na eme na Africa, they will still be desolated. Unless they will leave. I know they are in NATO, but they have to leave Britain to suffer their suffer alone. They have to remove their hands completely and allow Britain to suffer their suffer alone. I hope before Mbibi Fane ebido ka obu na umu Igbo anatago. Because onwe ife me n'ụwa ka Chukwu okike na ebibi Britain for subjugating his own children through this evil. He also said he knew that the DSS was in the process of extraditing Simon Ekpa to Nigeria to face charges. Yo. Oh, you knew because, okay, let me explain this. He was actually right. He was right. Let me explain. Yes. Oh, yes, he was right. He was right. Let me explain it. Do you remember last year? There was an attempt. The first attempt was to kidnap Mazi Simon Ekpa and rendition him to the zoo. Are you aware? I want us to follow, and I want us to have interaction. So, how many of you remember that last year there was an attempt to kidnap? Excuse me. There was an attempt to kidnap Mazi Simon Ekpa and they rendition him to the zoo. How many of you know? How many of you knew? How many of you know this thing? How many of you are aware of what I'm saying? That last year there was an attempt to kidnap Mazi Simon Ekpa and rendition him to the zoo. You are not responding. That means you are not following. Okay. Second question. How many of you are aware that there was an attempt to assassinate Mazi Simon Ekpa in Finland last year through suicide bomber? How many of you knew? How many of you know what I'm talking about now? This is the second question. How many of you know? Answer the question when you get my voice, because it seems like my voice is delaying a little bit before you hear from your, from your location. Now, so the witness is right, because we all know that there was three attempts to kidnap Simon Ekpa and rendition him to the zoo, and there was 4 attempts to assassinate him through suicide bomber, which they even sent. They sent three suicide bombers to go. One of them, they all left from UK. One of them, 2 were stopped in Sweden. In Sweden, they couldn't enter Finland. While one of them entered Finland and was looking for the man who's supposed to receive them, an Igbo man, actually, an Igbo man who's supposed to receive them in Finland, which Mazi Simon Ekpa mentioned his name in a public, conversation. They were looking for that man, and the man disappeared. The man disappeared. So the suicide bomber have to return back to the zoo. Yes, it happened. So the DSS witness is right. As the DSS tried to kidnap and rendition Simon Ekpa last year, it did not work. And then they resorted, with the help of Hope Uzodimma and Peter Mba, they resorted into assassination attempt. That's them last year, and they all failed. So when he's saying, you know, that the DSS was in the process to extradite Simon Ekpa to the zoo, he didn't lie. So now, but the only lie there is this extradition. This is the only lie. Extradition is the only lie, because there was no any attempt to extradite Simon Ekpa, because they know from what go that they have no capacity to extradite him. Probably that's why he said was. Yeah, I can see. So he's still right, even though he used the word extradite. He's still right, because he said was, because they know that they have no capacity to do so. So they resulted in kidnapping and extraordinary rendition, which did not work, and then they ended up trying to assassinate him through suicide bomber. All failed woefully. They all failed woefully. That's why they no longer talk about Simon Ekpa, that they are doing everything they could now. Accelerated trial. They want to do sharp. Come on, my jail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu before Simon Ekpa na apụta. It's over for the zoo. Now, let's continue, because the matter long go. The matter long. If you haven't shared the broadcast, kindly do so. The matter long. The matter too long. Just get ready to laugh. To laugh at the idiocy of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. He said, when asked whether the defendant was charged with damaging anybody's property, AAA answered, maybe not personally and virtually. Maybe not personally and virtually. God, Zoological Republic. Na kendi melundi ba ken ki fabric megidelo adi anyị na ndị ụmụ chukwu ndị ụbụrụ fa na anụ ọkụ welu fatinye na ndị nwelu brain damage like this. Brain damage with all the education. Brain damage. When asked whether the defendant was charged with damaging anybody's property, AAA answered, maybe not personally and visually. So, maybe not. He's not specific, because he knows that he has failed already from the word go. And you know why? You know why he's trying to be sincere here? By telling you that they did not recover anything, you know, anything exhibit with him, because you cannot fabricate it. Are you paying attention? You cannot fabricate it. It's not difficult for the zoo to bring, grenades and every other thing and package it and say, this is what we discovered from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Can you substantiate it? It's not difficult for them to do it. It's very easy for them to do it. But can you substantiate it? Where did you? We have only two places that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was taken by the zoo. Only two places. Number one place was in the airport hotel. So you need to tell us, how did he cross the Heathrow airport? Heathrow Airport in London. How did he pass Heathrow Airport with those exhibits and entered Murtala Muhammad International Airport and passed the immigration and all the processes with the same evidence, with the same exhibit? They cannot substantiate it. And remember, it was straight from the airport to the airport hotel. He had not met anybody. They took him immediately he arrived. So there is no way they can substantiate any claim that they found something illegal with him, because he was coming from airport direct. So you will be able to answer how he was able to pass Heathrow Airport and Murtala Muhammad Airport, because he did not go any other place. So it's nowhere. The zoo on a tight corner, as in every fan of tight corner. And in Cape Azua in 2021, you can't say anything like that because you are the one who went to kidnap him in Kenya. You are the one who brought him back to the zoo. So you can't substantiate it. These are the only two places Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had been taken by the zoo. So there's no way. And all his activities while he was still here in Biafra land after he was released in 2017 was in the public. All his activities was in the public. And what was he doing? He was going for rallies, which was within his, fundamental right. No court has the power to take your fundamental right away from you. It becomes illegal. Freedom of association, freedom of speech, these are all within, within your right. The law gives it to you. Freedom of association and freedom of speech is your fundamental and inalienable right. You have the right to that, and there is no limitation. To make the matter worse, there is no limitation. It did not tell you, hey, you have freedom to, to associate with whoever you want. But you see this person, you must not associate with him. There is nothing like that. There is nothing like that. Now, get ready to laugh. Get ready. Get ready. We are getting there now. Get ready. He said there were social media messages where the defendant was inciting violence, but did not know one person who carried out any act of violence because the defendant incited him. Some can go down in the comment section or some namu here. This is quite some namu. Have I become a fool? Where is my comment section? Where is my not the quack or some namu here? So now I'm this idiocy, this stupidity of the zoo. Let me read it again. He said there were social media messages that is not contained in any law. That is not contained in any law. Social media is very, very strict. Any message you drop on social media, if it does not go with the community guidelines, it will be taken down automatically and immediately, with immediate effect. Are you paying attention? Any message you drop, it takes few seconds. The machine works automatically. It works with algorithm. It works automatically. It takes only few seconds before anybody will even see the message. That's what they made it very, very effective so that it does not corrupt the minds of anybody. It is very, very effective. And we find out what keywords. Pay attention because this one I'm a money of ma odolomanya. On social media, only find out about algorithm. When you find out about keywords, algorithm be fairness spread any message or video. Are you paying attention? Algorithm carries your message. Algorithm carries whatever you post on that social media platform and circulate it. Brings it to the timeline of every user. Pay attention. Now, keywords is the one that indicates there are already words which are on the platform that are not allowed. So this keyword machine is the one that dictates. Once you mention, that's why sometimes we use spy. You may not know. That's why sometimes we use spy. Are you paying attention? We don't use the real word, or we use unalive. We don't like to use the main word because is filtered. So this keyword machine, filters all the words and the activities, including nudity. If you post any video with nude, it is against the social media rules and community guideline. It's going to be taken down automatically and immediately with immediate effect, unless you post them on a personal website. If you're posting them on a news website, which is controlled by you, it has absolutely nothing to do with social media. But once you bring it to social media, it is taken down automatically. You understand? So you cannot say that he said there were social media messages where the defendant was inciting violence. At the same time, you shot yourself in the foot and say, but did not know one person, even one person, who carried out any act of violence because the defendant incited them. So why are you still trying him? Why are you trying him? Why are you trying him? And remember, these so-called social media messages was done in the United Kingdom, not in the zoo. Because it was not done in the zoo. So if at all, in case no nwegide case megide nwete no kwuru anything inciting, it should be tried in the United Kingdom. He did not say anything like that in the zoo. Are you paying attention? Even though he said it, it is still within his right, because saying and acting is not the same. You understand? Saying and acting is not the same. You can say, but without acting, you are still within the confines of the law. Yes. Oh, yes. In Agwandi believe, I am my law. We know it. We know it. That's why we are doing what we are doing, because we know the law. We know that what we are saying and what we are doing is still within our reach. And let me tell you, do you know why they are not talking about ESN? You know why? They are not talking about ESN because that is where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is waiting for them. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is waiting for them to mention ESN. Kayamaluzie mafa like ifeneme na play to state nke azwa. Kayamaluzie mafa like ifeneme na Kaduna state nke azwa. Kayamaluzie ma di zoo na try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or fana commission ifeneme na Benue state nke azwa. Kayamaluzie ma fana commission, it will be very open. No fana commission ifeneme na Borno state. Yeah, oh yes. That's why nobody's mentioning Nkojukwe for more ESN. Kaimalizema or law say defend there ourselves for the wrong. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made it very, very clear that this is not our army. We are going to form army when the time comes. Unfortunately, they kidnapped him before then. Which forming an army to fight for your freedom is still within the confines of the law. Yeah, oh yes. African Charter, Article 20, 1, 2, and 3. Go and read it, is there, which the zoo is signatory to. It says that every oppressed people, I will bring it because of this matter. Yes. I didn't plan it, but because of this very matter, it is very, very imperative that I bring it now before we continue, because I have spoken about it already. Let me look for it. Very, very important. It is very, very important that we do this, so that those who are not aware should be aware that every single thing we are doing, every single thing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has done is within the confines of the law, within the ambit of the law, within his human right, and no court of the world will put him behind bars. In fact, these 5 years and the other 2 years he has spent already should be heavily compensated heavily. And the only compensation we need is Biafra, nothing else. African Charter, Article 20. Where is it? I'm already there, so let me search for Article 20. Because I like him. Yes, here we are. Here we are. African Charter Article 20. Before we continue with this, or do you want me to finish this? Let me check how many lines are remaining here. Okay, fine. We're already finishing it. So we are going to go to African Charter after this. So let's continue here. Let's continue with this. Remember, they can never talk about ESN. Now, I will tell you why I said so. When asked whether the defendant was charged with damaging anybody's property, AAA answered, maybe not personally and virtually. He said there were social media messages where the defendant was inciting violence, but did not know one person or who carried out any act of violence because the defendant incited, because he didn't know anybody that carried out act of. Did you know? You see, it's very, very simple. Look at it. Act. That's why I said speaking or saying something is different from acting something. I use that word, act, because that is doing. Because if you do it, that is you have done it. But when you say it, it's still within that freedom of speech, which has no limitation. You understand? Now let us laugh, my people. Let us now. Put on your shoes, your dancing shoe, because we're going to laugh and dance. Now listen here. Now Kanu called Nigeria a zoo. And in the ears of morons, it is a crime. In the minds of the idiots, in the minds of buffoons, in the minds of monkeys, it is a crime. Or a crime to call the zoo a zoo. How can it be a crime that you call the zoo a zoo? Is Nigeria not a zoo? It's a zoo. Now they said, PW1 further said, though he could not remember whether the defender said there is a corruption, youth unemployment. PW1 further said, oh, the cafe video gate to Asina, PW1 further said, though he could not remember whether the defendant said there is corruption, youth unemployment, and a lack of development in Nigeria, but remembers the defendant calling Nigeria a zoo. So, is there any place in the zoo constitution that says if you call the zoo a zoo, then it's a crime? Is there anywhere in the zoo constitution that says if you call a zoo, then you have committed a crime? Hey! Alumel. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to go the zoo, but I want to see. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, to go from but I want to say, no, I'm just now, Morobafa. No wonder he was laughing when I was showing his video. When asked whether he remembered that the defendant said IPOB was not an armed group and does not give armed training to its members, he said he remembered the defendant saying IPOB does not bear arms. There have been buy-ins in Kaduna, Zamfara, Benue. Let me tell you, I did not read here before saying what I said. It is called common sense. To be honest, we are reading this together. I only saw the headline. From beginning, I saw the headline alone. Even when I talked about ESN, when I talked about what is happening in Benue, Kaduna, Plateau, Brown, all those places, just a couple of minutes ago, I have never read here in the first place. But it's called common sense. Those that operate in this frequency always know even what is going to be said or happen in the next few minutes. Not that we know tomorrow. I don't know tomorrow. I'm not God. But I use my common sense that God has endowed me with to know what is going to happen next. Or predict, not know. I don't know. But to predict, yes. To predict what is going to happen next. I have the capability and capacity to predict what is going to happen next. In most cases, it happens like that. But in some cases, it doesn't happen. As a human being that I am. It's called common sense. Now, let's listen. There have been fires, unalivings in Kaduna, Zamfara, Benue, Plateau, and other parts of the north. Are those unalivings based on any agitation for separation? The defense counsel asked. Paralyze ya the zoo. Paralyze go the zoo. Now let's listen to the whatever. To the best of my knowledge, no. Triple A answered. Church Abasagona. He further stated that Nigeria's highways are safe to a larger extent. When the defense counsel asked, many Nigerians have been spied on their farms, in churches, in mosques, etc. Schools have been attacked and students kidnapped or spied. Trains have been attacked and passengers kidnapped and spied. These unalivings are not product of any agitation for separation, are they? The Triple A said no. Ebe ọ nọ kịta ọ na-anyụ mmamịrị na panty ya. Oh, yeah, regret. If I had known, I shouldn't have, unless Emilia force. But if he willingly provided himself to be a witness to a failed and corrupt entity like the zoo, by now on a new mamre na pant. On a new mamre ọkụ na nse na pant. Onye gali answer, oh, you na-esi poo, because o jugo nse na mamre when you kasia pant ya. Mad people everywhere. He said, the case featuring terrorism and treasonable felony charges was originally instituted in 2015 following Kanu's arrest in Lagos. Major setbacks have held the case down for almost a decade, making it impossible for the prosecution to call witnesses and present exhibits until Tuesday. The case started with 4 people initially charged as Kanu's co-defendants. However, in February 2018, the then trial judge Binta Nyako severed the trial, separating Kanu, who had fled the zoo, from the other defendants. The trial severance allowed the prosecution to continue proceedings against the 4 remaining co-defendants. The Nigerian government not rearrested Fabego Channels Television, kidnapped Kanu in Kenya in June 2021, and they subsequently extraordinarily renditioned him back to the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. So, now, before going to the African Charter Article 20, that has given us the impetus and, of course, the freedom to do what we do, let me search for updated information. Pay attention today, Bokunono. The zoo will be buried today completely. Completely, they're going to hide their faces in shame. Let's see if there is an updated info. It's over for the zoo. Pay attention while I search for any updated info before we go straight into the African Charter that has given us the right to do what we do. And remember, the zoo is signatory to it. Okay, I think there's an updated. Yeah, Okukalekwa. Okukale here. Oh my goodness me. Okukale. Hold on, just a moment. I think I would have to let's go to African Charter first while I take my time to to see the next updated news, to see if truly is updated or if it's the same thing that we have already seen. Let's go to African Charter, Article 20, verses 1, 2, and 3. Where is it? Yes, here we are. All right. Pay attention, please. If you haven't liked the broadcast, you haven't shared it, please, I want you to do so right now while we move into this very important segment of this very broadcast at African Charter. Please like and share the broadcast. Very, very important. Use these few seconds to share the broadcast before we move into this very important segment. Very, very, very important. I can assure you, my people. I want to show the world the reason why there is no any court in the law in the world that can jail a freedom fighter unless it is only what happened in a place whereby nobody is aware, and then it happened unaware. Then years later we begin to hear about it. Listen and listen very good. You see, in Cameroon, you have a man called Tabe Sisuku. I've made a broadcast about him several times in the past. Many of you who are old timers here will understand what I'm talking about. So Sisuku Tabe is the real leader of Ambazonia War of Liberation. Not even War of Liberation, Ambazonia Governing Council and Ambazonia Liberation Movement. Sisuku Tabe is the main leader who started it. There are two reasons here. Two things happened, which I'm about to talk about. I'm about to tell you right now. I want you to pay attention. Sisuku Tabe started the movement for the independence of Ambazonia before Cho Ayaba joined him. Sisuku Tabe made a mistake. Number one, there was no media. He was unable to set up a media in order to propagate the gospel of redemption and freedom of his people to the international community, to the world at large. Then the government of Cameroon started hunting for his head. Right? They chased him until he fled to the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. And the moment Paul Biya realized that Sisuku is currently in the zoo, he put a call across, and the zoo government, I think that should be under Buhari, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was under Buhari, and he was arrested. Either under Buhari or under Obasanjo. Either on, I will check the year because I can't remember which year he was kidnapped in Nigeria. He was not arrested, he was kidnapped. And there was no extradition trial in Nigeria. They did the same thing they did to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They kidnapped him in Nigeria. I think it was under Buhari. They kidnapped him, automatically renditioned him to Cameroon. And before we even continue with Sisuku, let me tell us, there is a current news now. There's a current news. There's a man from Uganda. Let me tell you another sin, another Kenya crime. There's a man in Uganda who is talking about freedom of Uganda people from Yoweri Museveni. Yoweri Museveni has been in power for the past 30-something to 40 years. Many young people in Uganda today were born, grew up, seeing their president as Yoweri Museveni, and now they are 30-something years. Some of them are 40-something years. Yoweri Museveni is still the president of Uganda. This is the same thing that is happening in Cameroon. So, and it's a crime. It's an abomination. It's an abomination. So, now, there is a man who is calling Yoweri Museveni to retire and leave Uganda alone because Uganda has suffered a lot on his hands. Yoweri Museveni started looking for the man's head, and the man has to flee Uganda to Kenya. I'm telling you what is happening currently now. Yoweri Museveni, upon realizing that the man was in Kenya, he collaborated with Kenyan government led by this idiot now. And they kidnapped him without extradition trial in Kenya. They renditioned him back to Uganda. And today, he is in the custody. I don't know if they have jailed him, illegally jailed him, or is still going through trial. I don't know. But currently, he has been renditioned to Uganda. So Kenya stay adding to their crimes against freedom fighters. You understand? Now, back to Sisuku Tabe. Sisuku Tabe was kidnapped in the zoo and renditioned back to Cameroon. As he was renditioned back to Cameroon, they did that, and we found out was sharply. They jailed him illegally. They gave him life imprisonment in Cameroon. As I'm speaking to you right now, Sisuku Tabe is in the custody, is in the prison, serving life sentence. The same thing. And that is what gave birth to Dr. Cho Ayaba that many of you know today. The story that I'm telling you now, if you are not an old timer, if you have not been following me for the past 5 years, you will not know the story. Are you paying attention? So that is what happened. Sisuku Tabe is serving life sentence unless Ambazonia is free. If not, Sisuku Tabe will serve the sentence. He is there till today. As I'm talking to you now, he's serving life sentence. So the mistake there was that he didn't have media to let the whole world know what is going on, at least to shut the Cameroon down. So this thing, France now Burkina Faso, because they go for so they forgot that Sisuku Tabe is in life sentence without committing any crime, without doing anything, committing no crime known to law. They illegally jailed him in Kano. That's why we are shouting. That's why we are shouting for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped in Kenya, we knew that this is going to be different from his arrest in 2015. Are you paying attention? We knew. I knew it. I knew it. Yes. That's why when the order came from Chinasa Nworu that men should lay down their arms, go home, and should be and will be called back when duty resumes, I said no. It's not going to happen, because this is the time we needed these arms. This is the time, because our leader has been taken. The Fulani will invade us if we are disorganized. I started shouting on top of my voice on this same platform, although on our main platform, not this one, but on the same Biafra Unite platforms. I started shouting. I said, no, this is Aro Uneliga Kazo, because this is not the time it is only common sense. You don't need to be told. You don't need to be told that something I go wrong somewhere. Kedu kesi blues our leader. Is Sizia man or drop if Jinaka na Sizia. So final since Mazi Nnamdi Kanu no ya or blues kite emeli ya kidnap ya say na how? How can you explain it? How? It's because of out of my old experience. That's why you were Jonjo last time. Why our hit and run fight you end there the moment our prime minister was taken? And nobody should tell me divide the fund, they divide that fund. Because of what? No, na bago to wata. Office in taka. Ya no so na eme. I will let you know. Because many of them they are saying na fear on social media. Farmer ebe milisi we bano pio bagro. Farmer ebe fenema isi we bido. Including many in the Demaru Kefajiko Ebru Juggernaut. They don't know anything in the struggle. They know absolutely nothing in the struggle. I'm telling you. That's when you were put a tibembu. Now you see, oh, getting there because I have experience. I cannot all bona. I'll go to one takele office in taka yana soneme because you cannot differentiate them. China Sanworu gave an order. Our men should lay down their arms, go home. Many listen to that order. Why many said no? No, kitakaini if I jinaka kitakaini because to age our leader Fulani will invade, because that was the plan of Buhari. The plan of Buhari is to invade us. So if you say we should lay down now, how comes they invade us? How do we reconvene in order to challenge them? We said no. Men said no. China Sanworu where turn to something else. I na marania. Where bidon sugidani mi China Sanworu sigidremeni mi sugidani up to na radio Biafra answer. The one that pained me most. The one that pained me most. Three. Commander Ojo, Commander Baby Bush, and Double Lion. Eburu, many commanders, many people. Manding Kebu na compound age of including our traditional ruler. Including our traditional ruler, Fanya Chicken. The founder. Not the founder. Or should I say the founder, because all Nyawa Boy Bidolia here. The founder of the Eastern Security Network. They killed him. They unalived him. Courtesy of Ejiofor and Benjamin Madugo, sabotage. Yes. China Sanworu were tweet here na their platform, which I will continue to save that image till tomorrow, until the day Mazi Nnamdi Kanu yapota. Or see, look at one of the men that I mentioned their names on Radio Biafra. He's among those that have been assassinated. Ojo. He wrote, I still have it. Because the moment able that man send the Aluchina Sang DSS send the Aluchina Sangoru the picture so to fast to Tobosiana lifeless. China Sangoru were up there na their platform. It was not in the public. He did not tweet it in the public. It was in their what was that? What was that? Their organization? Was it Family Writers Organization? Family Writers. Let me check. Let me confirm it. Family Writers. I think it was Family Writers or so. Mbochi, thank you. Thank you, Chidube Mbochi. Chidube ma thank you. Mbochi Orakogoya. They unalived him with some of our men together. They were about three guys. They were unalived. Mbochi Oya. Ebuoya Bufuoya. And they just celebrated it. Benjamin Madugu celebrated it because they were coming from a meeting in his own house. They were all individual as well. Then they celebrated it. Yes, Ebugoya. Fechena Wepumbochina ESN Ethiopia. They continue to sabotage us. China Sangoru. Well, join us Soludo, which is Soludo confessed, confirmed. We're offer repentant IPOB members, repentant ESN members. Soludo. How many of you know what I'm talking about here? How many of you know? It was Family Writers. China Sanworu sent it to their Family Writers WhatsApp group. Now look at Ojo. He's among those that I mentioned their names in the comment section. After he received the picture from the DSS, he posted it on their WhatsApp group, Family Writers WhatsApp group. And one of them who was just there, but he's not there, who did not like what they are doing, send it to us. And it was it. Now let us read from the African Charter. This is Organization of African Unity, Organization of African Organisation de l'Unité Africaine. Definitely French. African Charter on Human and People's Rights. Pay attention. Let us go to Article 20 straight. Anybody who is in support of the zoo, you are a terrorist sympathizer, and you are listening to me here, you are here listening to me. If you are here listening to me, I want you to pay attention. At least your eyes may open today. Look at it. Article 20. African Charter on Peoples and Human Rights. Article 20. So, we are going to read from number 1, 2, and 3. And we are starting with 1. All people shall have right to existence. That is number 1. Number 1. This place, this very first stanza, covers every move that Biafrans, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Simon Ekpa, ESN, IPOB in general, minus those saboteurs, the DOS. This very first paragraph has covered every single thing that we are doing. And this same paragraph has covered in advance whatever the people of Plateau State, the people of Southern Kaduna, the people of Borno, the people of Zamfara, the people of Kebbi, the people of Yobe, the people of Katsina, whatever action they are going to take moving forward in defense of their lives and livelihood and their communities, they are protected by this very law, which is signed, or should I say domesticated, in the laws of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. Whatever you will do to exist, you are protected by African law and Nigerian law as well, which says all people shall have right to existence. They shall have the unquestionable and inalienable right to self-determination. After here, I will give you the news of the outcome of the court, then I am a chair. Because that is the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu na bamba at the Federal High Court Abuja ona basim bike because all man only fezu me. This matter is no longer hidden, it's in the public. And the matter that is in the public, you cannot try it kangaroo system. You cannot use a kangaroo system to try it. The matter is in the public. The matter is in the public. Now, according to our law in Africa here, it says, let me repeat this play because it's too sweet. The reason why I always recite this law is because of the sweetness of it. If a Nigerian name, and the fire Nigeria, it will all end up on a round table. In fact, go and mark it somewhere, go and write it somewhere. It will all end up on a round table, which we are going to present our own government map, which we have drawn for ourselves. If they are not okay with it, then they will now go to those places that they are not comfortable with and conduct their own referendum, which will be superseded by us and the United Nations. If they are not comfortable with our own map and our own referendum, they will conduct their own referendum to confirm. If they do not want to agree with our own map, our own government drawn map, then they should go and conduct their own referendum and confirm it. This is the end matter. All these shenanigans since how many years is coming to an end. It's coming to an end in our own time. Chelo, kachukume ebele ka ime protest ay ka oga ofuma. Then Finland anuru release our prime minister. Ke Zoom when we fire in the zoo go. Eba nke azwa go. Fire tifa. Eba somebody go. If Tinubu, he will be forced to call for this meeting, for this roundtable talks. He will be forced. Tinubu will be forced to call for this roundtable talks. Fulani will be forced to call for this roundtable talks. It's not going to be a beg. It's not anything about please. It's not about ranting on social media. No, they will be forced. Mark my word, they will be forced to call for the roundtable talks. Because number one, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, our leader, has defeated them in their own court of law. He has completely disorganized them. He has defeated them. He has emasculated them in their own court of competent jurisdiction. They have lost the case. Number one. Need a kangaroo or basarokwa here now because this matter is in the public. Number one. Then number two. Now ya kuzifa manpower to manpower. Go. Once they are being demoralized, Tinubu, because anything Melu here, Musa, the first place the matter will arrive is on the table of Chief of Army Staff. That is the first place. Anything go here. Iti piama de toy noise here. The first report. Ndị nke ya escape ya agba ọsọ. All the mmadụ ebo amaọbụ ofu will first of all report to their command. Their command will report to the Chief of Army Staff. The Chief of Army Staff will report to Musa. Then Musa will report straight to the National Security Advisor, NAN. National NSN. NSA, yes, National Security Advisor, NSA. Then NSA will take it straight to Tinubu. The final destination is Tinubu's table. So they know, even one person, if you neutralize one terrorist in our land, Tinubu will get the information. It's like that. It happens that way. Don't think they don't know anything going on. No, they know. Once terrorist is neutralized, Tinubu will get the information. Because they know how many they are. They know. And anyone that goes to checkpoint, they know. It's a duty that has been assigned to them to go to their checkpoint and terrorize them. It's like that. So they know when they are leaving their barracks, their commander knows that I have sent 7 terrorists to go and terrorize a certain people in a certain checkpoint. Their commanders are aware. So if anything happens to them, the report will come straight to their commander. Commander will take you straight to their general commander. Their general commander in that division will now take you to Chief of Army Staff. From there, it continues to go until it gets to Tinubu. So they will be forced to call for this all-round table talk. That is where we will present to them our map. If it's not okay for them, they will go and conduct their own, where United Nations will supervise it, including our own government. It's like that. Anybody who is telling you any other thing is deceiving you. There's a comment I read. Somebody was writing on my comment section. You are a fool. You think by fighting the zoo, you are going to get freedom. Freedom is coming from America. Even Prime Minister said we are going to get freedom from our diaspora. See anywhere. Because I don't respond to some fools. I'm not the one to help your idiocy and your ignorance. I was not created to help to fine-tune your brain when you are not able to help yourself. Prime Minister who told you we are bringing freedom from diaspora, why did he set up the Liberation Army and gave it that name, Liberation Army? Why? You don't, because these people who make this type of comment are not born normally. Hey, Biafra United, you a fool. On the time I am a fool. Now I know where season us in no be America. This idiots no be America. Even Prime Minister said we are bringing freedom from abroad. And where is that abroad? It's America. The reason why Prime Minister said we are bringing freedom from diaspora is because those of them who are in the government, those of them who are speaking are in the diaspora. And the reason why he said so is because somebody questioned him, why are you not coming down here to fight for your freedom as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is here? The Prime Minister said, we will bring the freedom from diaspora. That we don't have to, him especially, he doesn't have to come to the zoo to fight for his freedom, because those who are in the zoo fighting it, they know what they are passing through. So he's going to bring the freedom from diaspora. That does not mean that he will be in the diaspora. Nothing is happening here in our land, and then he will just come and bring. Maybe he has a telephone number of Donald Trump. He's going to call Donald Trump and tell him, my friend, recognize Biafra. He's going to call Putin and say, Putin, my friend, come on, recognize Biafra. Because you lack wisdom, you lack understanding. That's why I know you don't know anything. If that freedom is coming from diaspora, from America, without anything happening here, why did he set up the Biafra Liberation Army? It's a simple question, simple mathematics. And let me tell you, I know this better than you that made that comment. Probably you are listening to me now. Joe Biden was busy fighting for the recognition of South African government against the appetite. You know why? There's a comment he made. That comment is what broke the camel's back. He said that he doesn't want the escalation of the war, which is going to affect the West. Do you want to see that video again? I've played it before several times. He said that he does not want the armed struggle to escalate. He doesn't want the escalation of the armed struggle, which is going to affect the West. That is the statement that made the congressmen to back him up. That's why he fought the U.S. Congress. I don't know which word you call the, like here we call it Senate president. I don't know what you call it in America. He called the Congress president, Congress chairman, Congress, whatever you call it, I don't know. He fought him because that man was trying to shut him down. He said no. Because of what? He has evidence, video and pictorial evidences of what is going on in South Africa, the war, the battle that was going on in South Africa. He has evidence to prove. And it was ongoing, not the one that happened in the past. It was still ongoing. That's why they listened to him. He has a very vital point. I don't want the escalation of the armed struggle to affect the West. They listened to him. They paid attention to him. You understand? They paid attention to him. And at the end, appetite crumbled. Appetite crumbled. So if you are not fighting in your land that you want to liberate, you are expecting America to come and recognize you and give you freedom. Anybody in Agorege, continue. Let them continue to deceive you. Your eye will open one day. So if any we are going to continue the fight. Non-stop. That is the only evidence to provide to those people who will recognize you. That is the evidence to provide. For them to recognize you, that is the evidence to provide. You understand? So if there is no battle in the land you want to liberate, nobody will ever recognize you. Why not? There are a lot of people who want to be free, but they don't have the guts to fight. Why they don't carry papers and books, go to America? Or you think they don't have passport to travel to America? They should have traveled to America. Go and get one person who will, help them to recognize them. It doesn't work that way. You must fight. That is the evidence that you need freedom, you need recognition, so that anybody who wants to recognize you will be looking at what is going on in your land, not how they are unaliving your people. That is not the issue, because they have been unaliving people, they have been unaliving Biafrans, they've been unaliving other, indigenous Nigerians. Nobody is recognizing anything. The army can unalive millions of people. Nobody can recognize anybody. What they will recognize is the conflict. The conflict. Oh my goodness. What they want to hear is the conflict. Only that. Not that they are unaliving your people, you are crying for them to record. No, 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 no. It doesn't work that way. It does not happen that way. They only recognize conflict because they know that is the only thing that is able to escalate. If they are coming to unalive your people, you keep crying and crying, crying and crying. Nobody will listen to you. No international community will listen to you. Amnesty International will only write and publish it. That's all. Who cares? They'll continue to unalive you. But the time you raise your arms up and say, no, enough is enough, it becomes a confrontation. The whole world will hear it. Now, they said that we have the right to, in fact, not just right, we have the unquestionable and inalienable right to self-determination. Nigeria is signatory to these laws. That they shall freely determine their political status and shall pursue their economic and social development according to the policy they have freely chosen. Anakukwaka here. Anakukwaka here. That is the reason why I told you nobody, no court, no law can ever jail a freedom fighter if it's not done in a kangaroo manner where nobody is aware. Maybe you just started, you just video sharp, a burugi immediately, touring immediately, just like what happened to Tabe Sisuku of Ambazonia. Only that way. If not that, nothing else. That is the only way a court can jail a freedom fighter by out of the influence of the state. Are you paying attention? That is how it happens. So, we know exactly what we are doing. Now, it continued. Look at it. Let me repeat before we go to the number 2. It says here, to the policy they have freely chosen, meaning whichever way, this place has to be explained better, which means that whichever way that we have freely chosen to fight for our right of existence, our right of self-determination, whichever policy that we have freely chosen to fight for it, it is allowed. That is what here is saying, nothing else. Whichever ways we choose is allowed. And remember, you cannot just wake up overnight and carry arms. You will start by talking. Galvanizing the minds of the people. Then, if those powers that be are meeting before that, you will begin from talking, galvanizing your people, the minds of your people. And then, as if that is not enough, you begin to organize protest. From the protest you're organizing, then if the powers that be that you are talking to are supposed to listen to you and call for a referendum, begins to suppress you, begins to oppress you, begins to use force against your people, nobody, no group of people, no organization is, is a monopoly of violence. No person, no people, no organization is monopoly of violence. So if they meet your demand with violence, then you will have no any other option than to decide how you want to continue the quest. If you are determined, you meet them with whatever they are coming to you with. It's very simple as that. Now, number 2, colonized or oppressed people shall have the right to free themselves. If you are not paying attention, I am sorry. I will do what I can do. I will do what I can do. But I may not be able to help you. Colonized or oppressed people shall have the right to free themselves from the bonds of domination by resorting to any means recognized by the international community. Gịnị a na-akụkwa aka here? A na-akụkwa aka here. Look at it. The truth of the matter is that Africa is aware of what is happening in Africa. They only need people with gods. People that have gods. All these managers in the name of presidents, they all know. But they only need people like you and I. They only need people like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They only need people like Simon Ekpa. They only need people like you supporting and supporting the struggle. Look at it. It is very simple. Colonized people, colonized people like us, or oppressed people like us, shall have the right to free themselves from the bonds of domination by resorting, very, very open, by resorting to any means, by resorting to any means recognized by the international community. Now, which means are recognized by the international community. It's clear here. This one is clear. We can resort to any means that is available and recognized by the international community to free ourselves from colonized, oppressed, and from colonization and oppression, right? We can resort to any means, any way we can free ourselves from colonization and oppression. We are allowed to free ourselves from bondage of domination or whatever. Now, how does international community allow you to do so? Let us read number 3. All people shall have the right to the assistance of the state's parties. That's why they always have aids. Aids. All peoples shall have the right to the assistance of the states parties to the present charter in their liberation struggle. In their liberation struggle against foreign domination, against Fulani oligarchy, against Fulani herdsmen terrorists, against Boko Haram terrorists, against Al-Qaeda and Maghreb terrorists, against ISIS in West Africa terrorists, ISWAP, against all sorts, including the newly created one in Kwara State, against Mieti, against all sorts of terrorists that are coming to terrorize and take over your ancestral land. You shall have the right to free yourselves against this, foreign domination, be it political, economic, or cultural. This law that I'm reading is not just on the papers. It is bound on all African countries. And Nigeria is signatory. Nigeria is not just signatory to it, but Nigeria is among those that put this law in place. Are you paying attention? The zoo is among the top countries that put this law in place in Africa. So they are not just signatory to it, but they are one of those that put it in place. Now, if you go back to Article 19 and you want to ask, why do you feel that you have been oppressed? Why would you do what you are doing? Why would you need freedom in the first place? Article 19 is very simple. It says, all peoples shall be equal. Are you equal in the zoo? As an Igbo man, do you feel equal in the zoo? Whereby even though we, the freedom fighters, are not in support of any zoo election, we are not in support of any politician from Igbo nation serving the zoo, we are not in support of P2B, yet we all know that P2B outrightly won that shambolic election that took place in 2023, yet they rigged him out and fixed Tinubu because he paid the highest bid. And it was an agreement between him and the North in 2015 that brought Muhammadu Buhari. So are you equal? Ask yourself, as a Biafran, as an Ibibio man, as a Calabar man, as a German, are you equal to the other parts of the zoo, whereby the oil in Bayelsa in Ijoland belongs to Jigawa? So are you equal? Are you equal? Ask yourself a simple question. Are you equal? Tell yourself the truth. Asari Tokumbo, are you equal? Why are you dragging for a pipeline security guard? Are you equal? And this oil is in your father's compound. Are you equal? Are you equal? Tompolo, are you equal? Ask yourself. Very simple question. Are you equal? But the laws of the land says all people shall be equal. They shall enjoy the same respect. They shall enjoy the same respect. And they shall have the same rights. The same rights. As I'm speaking to you right now, in the zoo here, there's a law for the Southern Zoolo, not just for Southern, for Igbo people in the zoo. Why there is another law for the Northerners? That's why you have Sharia law in the North, and you have Isba police that can easily confiscate anything that is not allowed by their law in the North, but it's allowed in the East, whereby you have the right to sell beer in the East. And then they will generate tax from that same beer they sell in the South, and then use that same tax to develop Kaduna and Kano. They will use that same tax to develop Katsina. They will use that same tax to develop Gombe. In the same oh my word. Hey, Alu Melo. Now, shall have the same right. Nothing shall justify the domination of a people by another. This is one of the reasons, top reasons why we are fighting for freedom. Apart from not being the same, apart from we are not even supposed to be in one almighty zoological republic of animal kingdom in the first place, apart from not being the same people, even though we are all blacks, we are all Africans, we have to be in one continent, but not in one country. Africa alone is enough to be a country. Africa alone is a country of its own, is a nation of its own, with different nations, is a country of different nations. So don't tell me you must be in one almighty zoo with your president in Abuja. I don't want that. I have said I don't want that. It is my decision, and I hope, and I don't just hope, I want every individual to respect that. It's my decision, it's my right. It's my right. So everybody, Madik Mahari, everybody must respect that. It is my right. The law has given me that right to decide where I want to belong. And if you don't want to respect that law that you have enacted, then I will force you to respect it. I will make sure that I force your hand to respect it. If you don't want to respect it, you will be forced to respect it. That is how it's being fought. Whether they like it or not. We are not here to beg anybody. You can arrest as much as you like, no problem. At the end, this very freedom, if somebody like me will say, no, I will continue. after listening to some words from some people, which is not even the main thing that pushed me, but it's good that I listened to them. Those that reached out to me and those that I accepted to pick their calls. Because not everybody that called me that I picked. So I said to myself, no. Who will I abandon it for? Who will I leave it for? Who will I leave it for? And on that note, the line is opened while I go around to search for the outcome of the case, because I know that the case has ended long ago. I will allow my beloved Biafrans and lovers of freedom to come in and make their contribution. Very, very important in this broadcast, in the broadcast of this magnitude. In the broadcast of this magnitude. It is very, very important. The link is in the comment section. Kindly hit that very link. It's going to bring you straight to my studio, where you are going to be allowed to make your contribution and speak your mind. So now, for those of you who would want to call on WhatsApp, those of you, especially those in the homeland who are not able to, or who don't know how to click the link in the comment section, the WhatsApp is on your screen. Check down your screen on the left hand side, down your screen as you are watching this broadcast. Down your screen on your left hand side, you are going to see the WhatsApp number. Only WhatsApp. Only WhatsApp. You are free to call in while I bring you the outcome of the court proceeding, and then I will as well accept those who will be joining to make their own contribution. So anybody who asks you, why are you doing what you are doing, refer them to African Charter Article 20. Very, very important. Just refer them there. They will not be able. After reading it, Article 19 and Article 20, after reading them, they will no longer have the impetus, the opportunity, the right to ask you, why are you doing what you are doing? Okay? So the line is open. Umu Chineke. Call in or join me in the studio to make your own very important contribution. The heart of everyone, the minds of everyone, the thoughts of everyone is important. Go about getting you the total conclusion of the outcome of today's broadcast, today's court proceeding of our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We are still waiting. We are still waiting for those who would want to speak. We are still waiting. Let me play this very video. Very, very important. While we wait. Yes, the link is in the comment section. If you are watching and going through the comment section, the link is already there. You can click the link and join me in the studio to make your own submission.
By your life before the end time, sorry. Ndibutu inusi, agwawati matianodi. Every siyana tresu, diri ebibu makwese. Makanu panu boko, opa tichiria, abona bosondi. Ona yeku chikona kana. Asi maburo kuno mare, ya buru biharu. Namogara palamu, surrounding bosom. Obado Makego, money is not everything. Let's fight for our freedom. For our freedom is our right. Papa Mobaram see, Nadia Frabalamu, Iabuna Neminu, Kambu Parayano. Makanoji Femata Winyakaye, Akalobe Ilo, they say. Oye we feel for any fair. Sabotage, you are way back away no fail. Makana wapana kamadu, muna fudu kwenanya. Lepa mi. Makana wapana kamadu, muna fudu kwenanya. Lepa mirire, ogesi makasuna no. Ogatika by your life, before the end time, sorry. Ndibutu inusi,
coming to try me is a terrorist. That's what their law says. Section what me? As simple as that. Section 2, subsection 3F of Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. That's what it says. Any court considered to try me is committed an terrorism. Yes. Very clear. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then come to try that very person is not done anywhere in the world. So you must be aware of that. So that is where there is all these ridiculous delays. That is what Supreme Court said, I did not jump bail. My home was invaded. They came to kill me and I survived. They came to Kenya to kidnap me. Brought me back to this country and seeking to try me, which the law says cannot happen. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then hope to stand on that illegality to conduct a trial that is not done anywhere in the world. And we have in my case.
Charges leveled against me. This place where I committed this crime was London, United Kingdom. When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself.
They removed it.
I told them that no court in Nigeria has jurisdiction to try me.
They removed that long.
Because since this offense was committed in England, so they said it's only a UK court that can give a Nigerian court the authority to proceed, isn't it?
Yeah. Based on that, they removed London.
Based on that, they now amended the charge again and removed London.
Location of the broadcast.
Location of the broadcast. Contrary to section 196,
174 of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2020.
in violation of their own laws. In violation of their own laws. And you want me to stand trial under such circumstances? Is that possible? Nnamdi Kanu to stand trial where these shenanigans are going on? It's not possible.
The persecution against the people.
Let them give them a fresh one, not the ones.
No, we have many of that.
And I have respect and love her. She knows.
What if this case comes back to her? Because
It is not possible. This persecution of the Igbo people, this orchestrated, almost global persecution of the people, stops with me. It cannot happen.
Very well.
It can never happen. That is why we do what we do. That is why I do what I do. I am campaigning for the freedom of my people because of the persecution that we are facing. Yes. It's as simple as that. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yes. The rules change when it comes.
So I was actually surprised that a high court have refused to obey or abide.
All right. Before we continue with this very video, it is important to announce to you, even though the court has dismissed a couple of hours ago, many hours ago, it is very, very important to announce it before the end of the broadcast that after the cross-examination of the so-called witnesses of the federal government of the zoo and the DSS by the team of lawyers representing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, our own leader, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, the court has subsequently adjourned the case or the trial to the 6th, 7th, and 8th of May 2025. The court has subsequently adjourned the trial to the 6th, 7th, and 8th of May 2025. Today is a pure win to not only to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but also to Biafrans all over the world. But we must continue because the zoo can twist anything at any given time. So we are not going to relent, neither are we going to sleep or beep our eyes. It is in the open that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is an innocent man. It doesn't matter what they say, neither does it matter what they do. But we all know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is an innocent man. As we have read from the Africa Charter on Peoples and Human Rights, it is very, very imperative to note that a freedom fighter has never committed any crime because we have the right to fight for your freedom, whichever way that you want, including liberation struggle, which allows you to even respond to the oppressors, whichever way in which they are coming to you or have visited you. So we are going to wait to see the outcome, as they have said, accelerated trial. Accelerated trial. Those of you who do not know the meaning of acceleration, I want you to go and check your Google. Acceleration trial. There is one thing I want you to have in mind before you go. Since 2021, or dated back in 2015 till today, or till these recent times, there has never been an accelerated trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu until these recent times. And this accelerated trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was made known or began to pop up since the arrest of the Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa. We began to hear this accelerated trial, which we don't know what is the target of the Zoo Janjaweed. Could it be that they have something in the cupboard which they want to use accelerated trial to determine the fate of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu even before Mazi Simon Ekpa will be released, because they know that he's coming out. They know because they know that he can never be extradited to the zoo, and they know that Finland cannot hold him for a longer period of time. So could it be that they have something in the cupboard and they want to accomplish it as quick as possible before the PM will be released? What is the agenda for the accelerated trial? So having this in mind, I am calling all Biafrans all over the world, especially those in Europe, America, and some part of Asia that possess eligible travel documents that can take you to Helsinki, Finland on the 9th of this very month of May. Today is 2nd. We only have 1 week to go. Only 1 week. Only but 1 week. You are owing Mazi Simon Ekpa a debt by standing in solidarity with him, and you cannot stand in solidarity with him in your comfort zone, especially if you are eligible to travel. And remember, nobody is asking you for any money. It is free. The only thing you are going to spend is your the only money you are going to spend is your transportation. Only that. And those that live in Europe, which flying from your destination to Helsinki, Finland, will only take you a few hours, 1 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 2 hours, highest maybe 3 hours. You can fly in that very day to Helsinki. After the protest that takes only but 1 hour, 30 minutes, you still fly back to your destination. Make sure that you make it worth a while. The Prime Minister is looking up to all of you. The Prime Minister will be disappointed that we protested for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for 4 years to 5 years running with sit at home every Monday. A protest that has made headway, that has made the international community talking, calling for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Simon Ekpa, since he was arrested in Finland, no organization, not even one organization has called for his release. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, so many organizations have called for his release, including United Nations on arbitrary detention. They have called for his release. Amnesty International have called for his release. Civil liberties have all called for his release. Individuals, politicians, they have all called for his release. Mazi Simon Ekpa is only in our own hands. We are not expecting any of these organizations because they see Mazi Simon Ekpa more dangerous than Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is going to give us Biafra even within just a couple of years. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is ready to take it one step at a time. But Simon Ekpa is not ready for that. He doesn't have time for that. Simon Ekpa is ready to give us Biafra today. No matter what it takes. So it is very, very difficult for all these international organizations to move in, especially when they see that we, the Biafran people, have abandoned him. I can authoritatively tell you that the reason why they are all calling for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is because they see that we are doing something for him. First of all, we are having every Monday lockdown of the entire southeast of the zoo. And then we have someone like Mazi Simon Ekpa, who has raised the army to continue the fight for our freedom. Now, if this man is in trouble, and the zoo is doing everything they can to nail him down, we, the Biafran people that he's leading and expecting freedom from him, will abandon him. Can you just check it? Check it. People who call themselves Biafrans have made so many comments, unreasonable and unbelievable comments against this very protest. Some of them say that I want to take glory, even though that I have announced it several times that this protest is not organized by me. I'm only giving it a voice with other genuine Biafrans who are also giving it a voice. It's not organized by me. This protest is organized by Biafrans in Finland and some Biafrans in Europe that joined them to make it happen. It's not by me. Yet, some of these enemies of Simon Ekpa who claim to be Biafrans are saying that Biafra Unite is now coming to do Pasmaga, Manamarani who gompetenazo, blah blah. They said all sorts of things. They are not that they said, they are saying all sorts of things against me for giving a voice and calling our people to come and stand in solidarity with the man that you are hoping to give you freedom, to fight for your freedom. And some people who I don't know if they are truly Biafrans, if they are truly Igbos, are insulting me, trying to demoralize me so that I stop talking about the protest, so that I stop calling Biafrans to come and stand in solidarity with our Prime Minister, so that he will now, Finland will now say, if your people can abandon you, that means what Nigeria say you are is what you are. Then they will deal with him. That's to show you the kind of people we have. But many of them may not even be Biafrans. Many of them may be Fulanese. You never can tell. So my fellow Biafrans and lovers of freedom, please, I am calling every one of you to make sure that you come out en masse to join this very protest, so that the moment our Prime Minister appears in court in the first place, he will be released. We don't want him to be there for a very long time, so that the enemies will not have the opportunity to accomplish their evil against us and against our leader. I don't know. I'm looking at, I don't know what's going on here. I'm seeing comments in the private chat. I'm seeing comments in the private chat, but I haven't seen those in the room. What's wrong? Please, those in the room, can you, if you can hear me and you are in the room and you can hear my voice, please, can you let me know in the private chat? Because I don't know. I am seeing private chats, but I can't see anybody in the room. So that is it. The protest is on the 9th. On the 9th of this month of May, 1 week to go. Every true Biafran is expected to join this very all-important protest. Every genuine every Biafran who believes in our freedom, believes in Mazi Nnamdi, you are not even supposed to be, pushed to the wall before you will be able to join the protest. In the first announcement, you are supposed to get ready by now. We're talking about our prime minister here, and you know what he stands for. So please, Biafrans and lovers of freedom, we are going to cut it short here, as the case of our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been adjourned to 6th, 7th, and 8th of May 2025. We are going to see how it goes. We will be here to monitor the case, live and direct, until we see the end, the logical conclusion of all this nonsense thrown at us by the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. Thank every one of you for listening. Thank every one of you for joining me, and those who are writing in my comment section, telling me to change my voice. I don't know what you are smoking. I can't change my voice because this is how I speak. This is my voice. I am not using AI. This is my voice. This is how I speak. I don't use AI. So those who are telling me to change my voice, I don't know what you are smoking. I can't change my voice because this is my original voice. It is God-given. It is God-given. God gave it to me, and I am appreciating him each and every second of my life. So stop telling me to change my voice. If you are listening to me right now and you are making those comments on my pre-recorded broadcast comment section, stop it already. Because this is the only time I have the chance to address you. I can't be addressing you when I'm recording a news because I have to go straight to the news. So please stop it already. This is my voice. I don't use AI. Thank you all. May God bless you. As we are done with this very live broadcast, we will be posting our pre-recorded broadcast moving forward as usual. Thank you all. May God bless our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, for a victory today. May God bless our Prime Minister. May God bless all genuine lovers of freedom, all genuine Biafrans, and those who want us free in Ketankechi. May God bless you, bless me, bless our men, our Biafra Liberation Army, as we march to the logical conclusion of our freedom. Thank you all. See you. From me from here, with all the love in my heart, of course, it is good afternoon. Bye